In a quiet town in Iowa, a gruesome crime shocked the nation over a century ago. Eight people were brutally murdered in their sleep, their killer vanishing into the shadows, never to be found. To this day, the Villisca Axe Murders remain one of America's most haunting mysteries. The quiet town of Villisca. Villisca, Iowa, was a small, tight-knit town in 1912. Known for its peaceful charm and friendly community, it was the kind of place where everyone knew their neighbors. But on the morning of June 10th, 1912, this idyllic town awoke to a nightmare that would leave it forever scared. The night of the crime. On the evening of June 9th, 1912, the Moore family attended a church event known as the Children's Day Program. Josiah Moore, his wife Sarah, and their 4 children. Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul were joined by 2 young friends, Lena and Ina Stillinger. Who planned to spend the night at the Moore home. The family returned home around 10:00 p.m., settling in for what should have been an ordinary night. But as the clock struck midnight, an unknown figure entered the house, wielding an axe. The Grisly Discovery. The next morning, a concerned neighbor, Mary Peckham, noticed something was wrong. The house was eerily quiet. And the Moore family hadn't begun their morning chores. When Mary failed to get a response, she called Josiah's brother, who entered the home. And found a scene of unimaginable horror. All 8 victims were bludgeoned to death with an axe. The killer struck with such force that the ceilings in some rooms bore the marks of the axe's swing. Even more chillingly, the faces of the victims had been covered with clothing or blankets, as if the killer couldn't bear to look at what they had done. The crime scene. Investigators determined the killer first struck Josiah and Sarah in their bed before moving on to the children. Finally, the Stillinger sisters were murdered in the guest room. The weapon, a bloodied axe, was left at the scene. Clues found at the crime scene only deepened the mystery. A plate of uneaten food sat on the kitchen table. A lamp with its chimney removed was left at the foot of the bed. The killer appeared to have spent hours in the home after the murders, even covering mirrors and windows with cloth. Theories and suspects. The brutality of the murders and the lack of a clear motive baffled investigators. Over the years, several suspects emerged, each with their own chilling connection to the crime. Reverend George Kelly. A traveling preacher with a history of erratic behavior, Reverend Kelly confessed to the murders but later recanted. He was tried twice, but both trials ended without a conviction. Frank Jones. A local businessman and rival of Jojo Moore, Frank Jones was rumored to harbor a grudge. Some speculated he hired a killer to exact revenge. William Mansfield. A suspected serial killer, Mansfield was linked to other axe murders in the Midwest. Yet no concrete evidence tied him to Villisca. A drifter. Some believe the murders were the work of a transient passing through town. The lack of fingerprints or forced entry suggests the killer was either highly skilled or incredibly lucky. Lingering mysteries. Despite countless theories and investigations, the Villisca Axe murders remain unsolved. Questions linger to this day. How did the killer move so silently? Why cover the victims' faces? And perhaps most chillingly, why did the killer stay in the house so long after committing the crime? The haunted legacy. Today, the Moore House stands as a grim reminder of that fateful night. It has become a hotspot for paranormal enthusiasts who report strange occurrences like whispers, phantom footsteps, and shadowy figures. Many believe the spirits of the victims remain trapped, searching for justice. Theories from the public. Over a century later, the case continues to captivate true crime enthusiasts and paranormal investigators alike. Was it a crime of passion, a premeditated act, or something more sinister? The Villisca Axe murders are a haunting reminder of how fragile safety can be, even in the most peaceful of places. What do you think happened that night? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unsettling mysteries and untold stories.